Now get ready for this boy to turn into the cutest little baby polar bear you've ever seen. Meet Arlo. He is a maltipoo, and no, I'm not talking about the amount of treats he left me when he came in. I'm talking about the fact that he is a Maltese crossed with a poodle. The history of Maltese dogs goes back centuries, but they've always been known to love a pamper. And poodles, they're very intelligent dogs used for water retrieving, don't you know? But this creates one boy who loves to be pampered, but is very inquisitive. After a thorough preparation process, he was put in the bath where he was soaked and ready to be shampooed with a double load of shampoo just to make sure he was squeaky clean. This meant he could now have a face rub because, who wouldn't want a face rub, especially when you're cute and lovely like him? A quick blast dry allows me to get the most of that moisture out of the coat, and I always give him a little bit of love just to let him know that he's having a good time. I want this process to be as nice as possible for him. Whilst being dried, he tried to get as close to me as possible and then realised he was getting a jet of hot air in his face, so we moved back a bit. He looked like a fluffy bear when he'd finished, and he was ready to be clipped. I went over the body a couple of times just to make sure I was getting all those ends off, and then I held his head up so I could clear his throat, because if I let his head down, there's potential you can let the skin get snagged. I often find myself in funny positions when trying to trim the dogs, just trying to keep them comfortable, and here I was bending over the table like I'm shooting a snooker cue. But as long as he's happy, so am I. And here is another angle of me trimming those toes. They were extra fluffy today. Neatening up those legs finally started to put some shape into him and some nice angulation to make this groom look good. And look how satisfying this tail trim is. Tidying up those front legs can be a little bit tiring, so Arlo decided, you know what, I think I'm going to have a nap. And that's absolutely fine by me. I can let him lie down and I can trim him in this position too, because this keeps him nice and calm and the process is always a positive one. Trimming his head was also done whilst he was lying down because, again, why not be chilled through this experience? Let's make it fun, let's make it good, and he is always a good boy for it. And here we are rounding that nose out to get him looking nice and cute because we want him to be like a nice little teddy bear, but in fact he's more polar bear when he's finished. I always find there's those horrible little ends I need to get, so I just pull them up, get my scissors out and snip, that's gone, and there's probably another one. Oh look, there it is. Let's get rid of that one too. This just allows those final little details to make him look better and better. Being so cute can be incredibly tiring, so he just is falling asleep gently whilst I finish off that head. And although he's rubbish at looking at the camera, he stayed nice and still at the end, and we finished, as always, with a bit of love.
Yeah. Good boy.